done woo, woo, woo. I done did the robbing, I done did the jacking. Now I'm full rapping. I put on my brothers, I put on my. Had to wear the dress, cause I had a stick. You know where the bag at, tell me where it is. I came from rats, the riches on the. I can no longer disguise it, cause I'm rich. I got cause good Lord.
Oh man, that's the vibe. That is the vibe.
Yes, sir. That is what we are talking about. What's up, y'all? This is Tressie.
And this is Cedric, and we're through the crate. We are digging through cultural and current events through the hip-hop lens.
Let's get to it.
Boom, boom. Wow, that's an air horn.
And you know we are recording straight out of VSOP Studios.
Sound better, bitch. And we got a guest here in the building. You know what I'm saying? Straight off the plane.
Straight out the van. Straight out the van.
Mm-hmm. It's got wings on it, whatever, you know.
Yeah, man. You know.
We got rapper, singer, engineer.
He produces too.
Graphic design.
He does that as well.
You know,
wow.
all the shindigs.
All the shindigs. Y'all know things. This is good.
All these little things. We got Mr. Kelechi in the house.
Kelechi in the house. Say what's up. What's up, guys? How's it going? Through the crate.
Hello. I'm just adjusting some things because I guess Kelechi made me nervous, and now just this shit going off the rip.
Oh, it's going crazy? Oh,
Continue to talk.
My apologies.
All right. So we are really happy to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
I'm
very happy to be here. Through the crate. This is very tight. House rules. Am I allowed to say bad words?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Fuck you want.
Fuck that. Let's do it.
Whatever the fuck you want.
Damn, nigga.
FCC. Oh, except the N-word. We don't say the N-word.
We don't say
Shut
the
up.
nigga word? We don't say the nigga word? Damn.
Man,
that's
got
crazy.
too much respect for my people for that shit, niggas. No, it's all good. We just clowning around, but no, it is great to have you here. You can say as many niggas as you want.
I love niggas.
Yeah, I love niggas too. But that's actually gonna take me straight into my first question.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, wait.
I just want to say first and foremost,
okay.
Thank you for coming. We know that this was like squeezing into your schedule type of thing.
Yeah, I feel you. But like, thank you for
guys.
having me. I love when people who like know my music and actually care about the music want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the most important thing to me. So I was happy to come up here, of course.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yes.
I appreciate y'all having me. Thank
So
y'all.
didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead with that first question.
So, first question. I know your parents are not of this country. Right?
Yes, both of my parents are Nigerian.
Both of your parents were Nigerian, right?
And so am I.
And so that makes you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just getting
Nigerian
straight into the race
American, right?
relations. All right.
Boom.
I'm just so curious. We're talking about niggas and shit. So, I mean, how did that work growing up? You know, because I know it's a totally different thing from just being black in America, but then being black but not black American.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It's
right?
it's a very interesting perspective. It's a very interesting. I thought it was unique, but what I guess being on tour has shown me is that it's not. I'm not as much of a black sheep as I thought, which is a good thing. You know, like coming in contact with a lot of people, saying that this tends to be a lot of people's situation. Which of course, America's a country of immigrants. You know what I'm saying? The whole population of people here are immigrants. I mean, there's just a lot of cultural things. I think what I've kind of been telling people what's expressed itself as on tour is I say that I'm 200%. I'm 200% from Atlanta. I'm 200%. I'm 100% from Atlanta. I'm 100% from Nigeria. So I'm 200%. I am what I am. You know what I'm saying?
I am what I am.
Exactly. I grew up, you know, in I guess a small Nigeria being my home. You know what I'm saying? With customs and traditions and all that. But then, like between the hours of school, you learn. You know what I'm saying? You learn how to code switch and be a little black kid. And then you know, I actually grew up like I went to a conservative, almost like mostly white church. So I would code switch then too, almost like so I'm like trilingual almost in figuring out just how to be myself and just navigate the world. So I guess that's the best way I could put it. But I love it though. I love it.
No, bad. I mean, it's one of those things like being black. You got to know how to switch it up when you have to. But then we were talking about that too, though.
I have a theory about that.
I'm gonna take this off. Sorry.
Yeah, it is a little warm in here. Sorry about that. But yeah, my theory about code switching though is just like if you just kind of stop code switching and you start to inject some of the words and stuff that you use in your daily life, like when you are with these other people, then they're just gonna have to accept it. They're gonna have to learn how to just know what those words are. And so like when I work in a corporate setting for my 9 to 5, and I say words like dope, I say like awesome, or I'd be like, hey, bro.
Awesome is awesome.
I say words like tubular and
yeah, but I know, awesome isn't one. But like sometimes what I'll do is I'll just be like, okay, man, you tripping about that or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll just talk the way I normally talk, because that shouldn't be like the way that I talk and the way that I dress shouldn't say how professional I am.
Yeah, I mean, how professional you are is the quality of work you do. And
right,
that's
just how I feel, at least.
Yeah. And I think, and I guess to piggyback off of that totally makes sense. Like in a perfect world, you know what I'm saying? But like I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? Just like growing up and just you figure out just kind of just how to navigate things.
Right.
And
I didn't have that view starting out. So I definitely understand what you're saying.
And it's like having 3 perspectives that you kind of have to understand and move through the world like taking in. So yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
They said press the down button on that thing.
Boom.
All right, cool. So let's get into how we actually found out about who you are.
I'm very curious about this.
So we actually found out about who you are through Sway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've been
Shout out
following
to
you.
Sway.
Yeah, I've been following you. We've both been following you since then. We've listened to your music over the
That's so crazy. That's
how we were introduced.
That
wild.
freestyle
That's
was crazy.
I appreciate it. I think that was the best freestyle of that whole year of anyone who was on Sway. Just let it be known. If anybody got shit to say, you can come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? But I think that was the best freestyle of that year, and we coming back, so it's gonna be fun.
Man, that's gonna be
Oh,
lit.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think, to be honest, I'd love to tell you to your face that was, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not sure.
All good. Just do your research and come back. Just do your research for that year and pop back and talk to me. Just hit me on Twitter. We'll get it. Yeah.
But yeah, we found you during that, and so we've kind of been following you over the years. Like I think like maybe a couple years ago on like Instagram, I think we said like, oh, if you're ever in Chicago, like come through. And you always been like, you always have responded to your fans and responded to people.
Always, yeah.
And that's how we linked up today. My question for you is like, how did you get to that Sway spot? Like, how were you able to get up there?
It's such a long story. I mean, the short story is a friend of mine who has like PR relationships with Sway, and well, not even a PR relationship. It was just like he was doing PR for an event, and Sway was there, like doing an appearance at that event.
Oh, okay.
And they were just cool, you know. And this is someone who he was doing PR at a different event that I was at, and then we just got cool. So a lot of the way that we just make, honestly, most of our connections are all just like genuine interactions with just good people, you know.
Got you.
That's kind of the short of it. The long of it is in 2014, I had won a contest with Mountain Dew that had led me to, part of winning the contest was going to South by. I was at South by.
Yeah, the Green Label thing, right?
Yeah, the Green Label, exactly. So through Green Label and Mountain Dew, I ended up at South by. That's where I met my friend who would link me up with Sway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's okay. We know who you are, Mr. 50K. We know who you are.
Yeah. All album, no marketing.
It's like a really nice car without an engine.
Question though, do you ever get weirded out by people knowing who you are and you like don't know who they are? Like to me, like me just saying like 50K and like knowing like slightly like some
people
things about you.
Yeah.
You know, like
no.
I'd get weirded out if I were you. Like
no, I don't really get weirded out because I mean it's on the internet and it's on the internet. Like I put it there, you know, like it's like if you tag, let's say you go to I don't know the hot chicken places up the road. If you tag it and someone says, "Hey, I saw your hot chicken," it's like you put it out there.
Right.
You know, I think it's interesting when people like will, because sometimes people tell me stuff that I either wasn't aware I put out or I didn't think people would like catch. And at that point, but it's not weird. It's just like, okay, cool, people are listening. It's just like be conscious of what you put out there. You know, you're in control of your reputation.
For sure. I mean, so like besides the Sway moment, you know, and winning the contest and obviously now you're on tour, like what do you think would be considered your biggest accomplishment today that you're most proud of?
Honestly, right now is this tour that's happening right now. My biggest accomplishment is usually whatever I last did. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I'm like, that's progress. What I try to, I always progress. I always try to beat myself. I'm really addicted to the feeling of doing something better than I did last time. You know? So every time we get a big look, it's like, yo, this was dope. What's next? But yeah, this tour that's happening right now is probably my biggest accomplishment, but it's also like a big eye opener because I get to see the people who've been supporting me and meet the people. Because people are coming to these shows. Like, of course, the overwhelming majority is coming to see Jadena. Shout out to Jadena. Thanks for having me on.
True.
But that's, some of my fans are still coming to these shows and they're making it a point to come and talk to me and tell me, hey, I like this record. I fuck with this record. Why didn't you do this record? This, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff. And that's been the best thing for me, is being able to like touch the people, really touch people and be like, oh, okay, cool. This music I've been putting out really means something to people.
Nice. Well, getting into some music.
Boom.
I got some questions.
I got answers.
Like, here go.
Okay, I got answers. She got notes. She got a lot of notes over there. Wow.
Yeah. It's called preparation.
Okay. Let's do it.
So you went from when I heard about you, I guess, I didn't listen to Loose Change. Isn't that what it was called?
That was like the first
That was like the
thing.
first
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I think I caught you on Before the Quarter, and then we go to Quarter Life Crisis, and then we go to Woke Up to Winter,
Yes.
and then we go to
Spring
break.
Spring Break.
Yes.
And then we have, all those other
Singles
ones, right?
and stuff,
Yeah.
Singles.
There's Lucy's in and out of there. Yeah.
I was listening to it, and you definitely have a lot of growth in, throughout all of those projects. I was wondering, like, when you make music, do you think about crossover value?
Do I think about
Like
crossover
being able to
value?
like reach more than just like us hip hop people,
Yes and no. I mean,
Okay.
it kind of goes back to what you talked about earlier. Like, I have 2 to 4, maybe 5 very genuine perspectives that I can speak from. Whether it's as a first generation American, whether it's as a black man in America, whether it's as a man, whether it's what I'm saying? I speak from different places. So I think that it like having those genuine places that I speak from, it just comes from, just being real.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question or not.
For sure. No, the only reason why I asked you, because when I listen to the music and I listen to it in succession, it does sound like, it sounded like a little bit more like that there was a lot more like crossover, like pop kind of things that you could do on like Before the Quarter, a little less on that on the Quarter Life Crisis, and then you go to Woke Up in Winter when you was emo as fuck.
I was sad. I was going through some things.
But it's cool, it happens. We all get sad. It's cool.
I was very emo. Very emo. It was a cold album. It was very cold.
I mean, it's
cold
titled
album.
such, and
Yeah. But that's the
feel
thing.
it. Yeah.
But that another commendable thing though is that like when you stick to a concept, you follow it through.
Yeah, I'm very. I feel like my life goes through like very key stages, and whether it's a lot of times it'll be the seasons. Like I don't know if it's because I'm overly kind of cerebral or if it's because I'm a Cancer, but I'm very sensitive to just like the seasons. I'm very just sensitive to like the world. That makes sense. So a lot of it's the seasons. Sometimes it's like relationships, who I'm hanging out with at the time, but like my life will have these very, to me at least, they'll feel like seasons of almost a TV show. And like whether it's the actual physical seasons or it's like, who I'm hanging out with or what's going on, each thing that's happening is just me talking about my life. It's nothing more complicated than that. It's just like I make songs about what I'm going through.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely tell that in the music. I mean, from the subject matter, from the delivery of just like authenticity. Like when I listen to your music, unlike some people, I'm like, for real, bro, you sure? But you talk about such like not like normal, but like normal stuff that people go through, relationships, issues with the parents, you know, growing up and figuring out who you are. So I mean, is it because music is overall generally pretty positive, right?
Right.
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, real stuff, but still positive. So I mean, do you find it challenging to like have to walk the walk since you're talking the talk with the positiveness of your music?
The positivity.
You
walk a lot
I don't
with
really feel like.
positivity.
I mean, I feel like a generally positive person, but like I don't feel pressure to be like positive. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like a, I'm not like everybody. Let's make. Because sometimes you're sad. Sometimes you make an album like Welcome to Winter, and you're like sad for 3 months straight. Sometimes that's what happens in life. So I don't really feel pressure to only make positive music. I don't feel pressure to I don't feel pressure to say anything in particular.
You just
except for something that's true to me.
Right.
That's the only thing I feel pressured to do, and that's good pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's sonically or I know you talked about crossing over before. Like I never have much of an agenda. I just kind of like do what resonates with me.
Nice being independent, right?
Right?
There it is. Exactly. It's very nice being independent.
It's good being independent
Having
when
that, I'm very nimble. I'm very,
Right.
I can do whatever I want. So
and when it resonates though too. And so that's awesome. There's a couple of lines on some of the songs that are funny to me.
Oh shit.
One of them, I told him about this one earlier. I was like, one of the songs, the itis, right? So you was like, I'm gonna fuck you to Faye. So do you normally fuck people to your friends' music?
I haven't before. But let
I
it
thought that
be
was kinda
known.
weird.
I definitely would. Like, Faye make good music. Like, I wouldn't be like,
does.
I wouldn't be
He
like,
does.
yo, we finna get down. Let me scroll on my phone and
Hold on,
turn
where
on
Faye
Faye.
at?
But if you know what I'm saying, we're getting down to the business and, you know, it comes on shuffle. I'm
Really
not
comes
switching
on.
it.
Yeah.
I'm bopping to my homies. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I'm bad.
I just had to because it was
if it
funny.
comes-
When I heard that line, I was like, that'd be like kind of weird. He said he known him since like 7th grade or some shit.
That's my exactly.
That's kind of weird to me.
Hey, man.
I ain't fucking nobody to your songs. I'm sorry, bro. Like I'm.
But
Like, me
would
and
you?
my girls, we gonna-
Would you skip it if it comes on? Are you? Let's say it's something
I might
smooth.
laugh.
I might giggle. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say I
Like,
wouldn't giggle, but
just get back into it. You know?
and back to it, straight back to it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I mean, one of my favorite songs is funny. We're talking about emo. It's probably one of the most emo songs. Freaking Swim.
Cedric.
Right.
Oh yeah, swim.
Wow.
And
Even though
I
I
think it's very fitting. I think even when it came out and just this generation, I feel like needs to hear more shit like that. You know? And so my question for you is, did you hear that? Because I always wanted this shit with artists, right? Did you hear the snippet from that?
It's your
I made
favorite.
it.
You know who it is, right?
Yeah. It's.
Louis.
I know
CK.
it's fine.
Yeah. I understand.
fine.
And
I don't
doesn't it suck when someone you like
Right?
does something
Yes,
you don't
right?
like?
Yes, of course.
You know, but like I don't know. I think it's just like sometimes people you like do shit you don't like.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's
You
just like it's that
couldn't
simple.
have known that this was gonna come out.
I'd already had it on there, and then it
Right.
was on there, and then I was like, "Damn, should I take this off?"
No, you can't. You can't.
No, it fits
You can't
it.
take it off.
He said
You
the
can't.
thing is,
I don't care. I don't care, bro. It's on there.
Yeah,
It's
on there.
free.
Exactly.
the thing is that it makes like shitty people sometimes make sense when outside of the shittiness.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I
I
mean?
mean,
so
and everyone
It's not
is
like
nuanced.
he's talking about-
and you don't
Right.
know like,
Right.
who is you know everyone's on some sort of spectrum
Right.
of some sort of shit. It just turns out that his was at work.
his shitty was
shit.
horrible.
His shit was at work.
But
Yeah.
what's good about it is that the clip that you chose didn't have to do with his shittiness.
Absolutely nothing to do with that. And that's the thing.
It
And
fit the
yeah.
song so well.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
so you made the song first and then heard
Yeah,
the
yeah,
clip and
I
was
had-
like, yo, I got it.
I had made the song. I was very aware of. I mean, I was aware of Louis C.K.'s stand up. I mean, I liked it, liked some of it, and it's like I think I wrote the song, and then I think I had just heard it, and I was like, wow, that's like exactly what I was talking about in the song, you know? Because it's like I don't know, like like in the snippet, it's hard to talk about. Not only people will say mental health.
Right.
Ugh.
Or
Fuck that.
people will say say so many things, but it's just like, yo, there are people who kill themselves.
Right.
That happens.
It's a real
Right.
There are
thing.
people who say, yo, the pain of existing in this world is too
too
much.
much.
I'm out the game. And that's a thing that happens. And I mean, clearly, if there's people doing it, there's people thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you gotta think about it before you do it. And
It's usually how things work.
and the way I saw it was like, and this is me personally, everyone's different. I think that there is not a bad reason to choose not to kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's not a bad reason. If the reason is because there's money in your car, or if the reason is because, you know, the CGI version of Lion King is coming out next week and you want to make sure you see it. Like, whatever
Yeah.
the reason is, you know? Shout out to Ernest Baker. He had a tweet that every once in a while I'll just go back, I'll Google this tweet and I'll read it. And what is it? It's I'm gonna not say it exactly right, but it was like, every once in a while, I'm really happy I didn't kill myself 7 years ago or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you have these thoughts where you're like, yo, just fuck life or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
it always gets better. It gets better. You make it through it. And that's the point of kind of the song, Swim Through
Right.
It. Shout out to Dory from Finding Nemo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
But that song, I think I had something for that one. I think I along the same lines of what you said. Yeah, it's just a nice way to reaffirm the reasons why you need to keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Just don't like it's, you know, R.I.P. to Nipsey. It really is a marathon.
Yeah.
And it gets
Seriously.
hard and like, but like this, it's not over till it's over. Nothing's over till it's over. So that was that point of that. Just a little bit of hope for people.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll talk about a couple of songs that I love.
Ooh.
The song in Bag.
Bag.
I thought
Shout
it
out
was
to
funny.
Faye.
Yeah, that song is pretty dope.
Thank you.
One of the funny things though is in the beginning you go and I'm like, this nigga trying to be like fucking Lenny Williams or some shit.
What song is that? That's
in the tears.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
In the
Exactly.
thrill of my eyes, baby.
Whoa.
Okay.
Hey.
Vocals. Don't play.
Whatever, guys. Get me on a song. But anyway.
Might happen.
No.
It just might happen.
But yeah, that song was interesting. I was just like, look at him trying to do his little singing.
Yeah, I'm messing around.
It's not little.
Just
it's
having
big.
fun. We're just having fun. That song's a fun song.
Yeah.
Faye did his thing.
I thought that was funny. What else was there? Thank God. Thank God is a great track. It's a great like way to end a project, even though you didn't really end it there.
Close to it, yeah.
You know?
It was at the end, yeah. It was at the end.
But it's a great way to like wrap it all up. And I feel like in that one, like you do a lot of I'm not going to use the right words here.
You always use the right words. Just
You might. You're totally probably using
It's
the
a
right
thing that
words.
we do. I'm going to lose my thought by doing this, but I don't know. It's just it's a great way to express the way you feel about everyone that's gotten you there, whether it was their encouragement, discouragement, everything.
And it's the same thing I was talking about earlier with like, it always gets better. You go through these things and you're like, oh, a lot of times the things that you're upset about are things that feel like L's or the things that feel like lessons or whatever. Like they feel like these bad things that happen in life, and then like it might be an hour later or a year later, you're like, man, I'm so glad that happened. You know what I'm saying? Thank God that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's really what that song is about. Also, fun fact, thank God my name like actually translates to, Kelechi means thank God.
I have
in
that
Igbo.
here. It says fun facts.
Oh, fun facts.
I also had
This
that.
shit tight.
Thank
this
God
is
in
crazy.
Igbo. Wahala. Trouble. I had
Okay.
to figure that out too.
We getting real ethnic up in this bitch. Let's go.
We trying.
definitely.
We gotta be journalists in this bitch, you know what I mean? We can't be like these other motherfuckers out there.
Shout out to those other motherfuckers.
Shout out to all y'all motherfuckers, yo.
Suck
Thank
my
you for listening,
dick.
motherfuckers.
Boom. There it is.
Nah. Man.
Got another track?
There's so much. Like I'm trying to what'd you say?
I said, do you have another track? You feel
Another track?
I know
Oh,
you got a list.
shit. Nigga. I wanted to say, like, so I was listening to Pretend, It's All Right.
Shout out to Mike Golden. Shout out to Mike Golden. On Pretend.
Yeah. A lot of those songs on before the quarter had to burp off mic. They sound very anthemish. You know, like because they're big, they build, they're cinematic. Like It's All Right is like cinematic almost.
Yeah.
Do you go into things like I hear this, I hear that?
When I make a song, I want to make sure that whatever sentiment I'm trying to communicate, that I exhaust it. That I exhaust every way of getting you to feel the thing that I'm trying to get you to feel. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So if I want you to know it's all right, I need to beg you to know it's all right.
Right.
And then I'm going to get this choir to also sing so they can beg you to know it's all right. And I'm going to get my homie to play bass so that the bass feels like it's begging you to know it's all right. And I'm going to exhaust it. I'm going to repeat it. And it's like, you know, like that's where it comes from if I'm really trying to drive a point home. It is repetitive, but it's also anthemic in that same sense. Are y'all coming to the show tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. And you'll see I write songs to perform them, you know.
Oh, speaking of perform, I think I said, what song? Fuck, what song was it? I think it wasn't Cold. One song I can't wait for you to fucking perform because that one sounds like, I think it's Bang. Or bang with, it's something about like bang with my gang.
Bang with us?
Bang with us, thank you.
Bang with us.
Bang with us. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to hear him, because I think I like your voice the most when you're just gutter rolling,
Get
just
it
like,
real.
nigga, I'm gonna come
Get that growl
You know
on
what I
him.
mean?
When it gets a little, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
I like Bang With Us a lot. Bang With Us was, that's a super good record. I don't perform it a lot. I've actually only performed it live once. At it was my birthday show 2 years ago. 2 years ago or last year? Last year. Yeah, because like I just had the time like to really do it as like a big headlining thing. So I'm not gonna do Bang With Us tonight. I hope that means you're still coming.
Nope.
She's like,
nope, stay at home.
all right, well,
all right. Well,
Netflix
Not
it
gonna
is.
do bang with us. Boom.
Netflix it is.
Yeah. Fuck my concert.
So I mean, it comes up a lot in your music. Are you heavily religious? Because I mean, I know how families are.
Yeah.
Like, I know you said you grew up in the church,
Yeah.
just like we did.
Yes.
You know.
No,
So I mean, is that
I'm
something
not. I'm not religious.
Spiritual.
Yeah, exactly. Corny. I'm not religious. I'm corny. I'm corny. Nah, I mean,
Kind
yeah,
of
bumper sticker right there.
I am very spiritual. I don't think that anything that's happening is an accident. I don't think that this is all just falling together because,
Right.
you know. But I also don't think that any of the other human beings on this planet have the capital A answers. You know, that's what I believe. I think that we're all just trying to figure it out. I kind of try to approach any type of spirituality with some sort of humility, not feeling like I know everything. I only know what's in here. I only know myself. So that's where I stand. But yeah, but because I grew up in the church, there's a lot, I know a lot of just kind of like biblical references and a lot of religious, just kind of like, you know, just the culture. It's culture, you know? So I'm there. I'm in it. I'll still go to church. Shout out to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Do the whole thing. 100%.
Yo, somebody at Jesus, man. Let him know. Let him know what's talking about this, man. That's what's going on, man.
Shout out. Jesus is fire.
I'll
Jesus
just talk
is
to
super
Black
cool.
Jesus.
I love Jesus. He's super tight. Yeah.
So you've been at this for a while now. How do you stay cuz I mean meeting you feel like a regular person, like you dope, like you know what I mean, like we're all talking
Yeah,
and we're vibing,
yeah.
you know. How do you stay grounded, because I know this industry can be very very it's the devil.
Relentless.
Since we're talking, yes, relentless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Cutthroat.
how do you stay aligned and focused?
I think that the fact that it's taken very long for me, which initially I thought that was my greatest weakness. I used to think, because you understand, rappers will get on, they'll be 16, 17, 18.
Right.
I'm 10 years removed from that. I'm 28. You know, so in rap years, I'm an old man. But I think that's the best thing for me in the sense that, like, now I was texting a friend of mine, and after I just told him about the tour and everything, I was like, yo, I'm getting everything I've wanted since I was like 18. It's happening now. And he was like, it's good that you're getting it now, because if you're 18 and you get everything you've ever wanted, you'll lose it by the time you're 24. He's like, but if you're 28 and you get everything you wanted, you'll have it for the rest of your life. And like, I'm sure. I'm so sure that that's where I'm at. So yeah, like being at it for this long, like even though it felt like a weakness initially, it's become, I think, my greatest strength. I'm a grown ass man. I'm not out here playing around. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. And I think that it's especially now with what's going on, I think like not only the industry, but the people who've been fans, like people who really support me, are looking at the wave that's happening right now, and they know that I know what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
You know?
Sure.
Because comparison is the thief of joy. So,
Right.
and, you know, you gotta just make sure like you are keeping your head leveled.
Own
Yep.
path. You gotta
Yep.
stay on your own path.
So in, Tired of Y'all, it's definitely pretty much kind of talking about that kind of shit, right? The industry and how. I'm just curious. I'm just curious, just a curiosity question for me. Okay. Are you ghostwriting for anybody out there? Has anyone ever approached you for
I've
this
written
stuff?
a lot of. I spend. Oh my god! Oh my god! I spent like 2-3 months in Los Angeles just writing a bunch of songs. The songwriting grind in Los Angeles is different. I don't want to like say that it's bad, but it's definitely not for me.
Okay.
But I do respect songwriters a lot. People who are like strictly songwriters. I've written a lot of songs. I've got like. They've ended up places, but
mean, okay,
I've
you
never.
don't gotta
I've
say
never
no
like
names,
I'm,
you know?
yeah. I mean, yeah, I've written songs for people. Yeah, I have.
Okay. Cool. Just
Definitely.
curious. I love knowledge. Inside knowledge.
Same.
I love inside knowledge. What else we need, man? What else we got going on? Let's do it. I'm here for all the bullshit.
What was the first?
Ooh, who was the first fake ass nigga that you encountered? You're like,
Who was that first bitch ass nigga? Like, oh, that shit ain't real.
First bitch ass nigga, probably first bitch ass nigga, probably Chance's manager, Pat Corcoran, worst guy ever.
oh, you know what? There was an article.
I'm just totally kidding. He's actually one of my best friends. He's a
There
really
was
good
an
guy.
article about that.
Oh, really? Nah, I mean, I was
to-
literally just fucking around. Pat Corcoran is my guy. We actually just like stopped by his office on the way
nice.
here. Yeah, I was just fucking around.
Hate brand.
It's,
Shout out to Hate brand.
I was just fucking around. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean,
No,
people
I'm kidding.
You
You don't
meet
have.
people. People are who they are.
I'm not trying to have you name nobody because then your career is probably gonna be over at that point. Niggas don't say names no more, so everybody's hunky dory nowadays. So.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, unless somebody really cross you, there's no point in saying somebody's name like, oh,
exactly.
you
No,
over there.
ain't nobody stupid. Ain't nobody gonna do me wrong. Ain't nobody tripping.
All right, well, we got to get this man to sound check.
Boom.
First CD you ever bought with your own money?
First CD I ever bought with my own
And I said CD because
money.
you an old man like us.
Yeah, we old as
First
fuck.
CD. I don't remember buying this CD, but I used to always sit around listening to. This was the earliest CD I remember listening to back to back, and it was Nelly's double disc, Sweat and Suit, and the intro to that had the sample from the NFL. Yeah.
It's good.
That's the first CD I remember doing listening to back to back.
Well, you know what?
But buying was actually late registration. Even though that was late, I was listening to CDs and stuff, of course. But like that was the first one I remember. I was in high school, so I remember buying that.
Nice.
But yeah, Nelly. I have Country Grammar in my car. I fuck with Nelly super hard. I love Nelly.
Nelly was the
He was the shit.
biggest thing. Yeah,
I don't think
he
people
was-
realize there was a point in
Yeah.
which Jay-Z was saying the only niggas moving units is me, M, Pimp Juice. He was talking about him, Eminem, and Nelly. They were the biggest. It was once upon a time Jay-Z, Eminem, Nelly.
Right.
People forget
It's
about
crazy.
that. Shout out to
What was
Nelly.
yours?
Shout out to the whole Midwest.
Me, When Disaster Strikes by Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
Mine was Rough Riders Volume 1.
Okay, that's a good one.
What's funny
That's a
is
super
because
good
we're
one.
both we're originally from the West Coast. We're both from
And we bought some East Coast shit. Like,
Really? Oh, wait, I'm over the West Coast. I don't
Yeah.
get West Coast vibes from. Well, maybe
Yeah.
now that you mention it, maybe I might feel.
He's been out here for like 13
yeah, I've been out here for a minute.
years. I've been
Okay.
out here for 5.
Okay, cool.
So
I feel
I've kind of I say 5 like the way they say it out here.
Vibe.
I've adapted it. Like it's like
We from the town, though.
Gotcha. I was gonna say.
Yeah,
what
town
time?
business.
Oakland. We
Don't
was
even
just
get the
in
Mac on
Oakland.
mine though, bro.
You know what I'm saying? What?
We stayed in Oakland. We stayed in Oakland for when I did San Fran for this tour.
nice.
So we stayed in Oakland. And
I should have hooked you up with some people.
It ain't the same Oakland now, though. I'm
No,
sorry.
it sure
ain't.
ain't.
The same shit. That shit.
I liked how it felt. I liked how it felt.
Oh,
It still feels
You know,
though.
we was-
But
yeah. But I don't know the ins and outs. You know
they
better
walk
than
in
me.
strollers and little pools and shit.
Right.
Oh,
different.
I love this song. It's a good song.
All right, y'all. Well, we got to get this man to sound check.
We do.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
through,
you
man.
guys. I appreciate
Yeah,
it so
thank you.
much. Shout out to Through the Crate. This has been amazing. I appreciate you guys for having me. For real. Thank you.
Man, we really appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you for coming. You can follow him at
Kelechi, that's KELECHIEF, on everything that has, and all your socials. Kelechi, KELECHI, on, all the streaming things. Search my name, I'll pop up, my face.
and you can follow us on
Through the Crate.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Bitch.
Just Google it,
God damn it.
please.
Please, right now.
Through the
Do
Crate.
that shit right now. Right now, motherfucker. But if you're listening to us, then you probably know where the fuck to find us. Anyway.
Then share it.
Share it, bitch. There you go.
Yeah.
Take
All
that.
right, y'all. And we out this motherfucks.
Out this motherfucker. Have a great one.
But I ain't really shit right now. No, I ain't shit. I ain't shit. Yeah. I know that was a lot. I know you didn't really ask me all that, but you asked me for my attention.